What if I told you that right now, Newark's teenagers are gearing up to change history? That's right. 16 and 17-year-olds are about to shake things up by voting in the next school board election in Newark. And you'll want to be there when they do. Hello, my name is Junius Williams, your host on the podcast, Everything's Political, Season 5, looking at this next chapter through the lens of Newark, New Jersey's story. Can you believe it? We're already at Season 5, and I've got to say, Season 4 was a huge success thanks to all of you. Over 60,000 viewers and listeners tuned in. That's right, 60,000. So, if you're one of the many who loved our series called If Everything's Political, What Do Young People Think?, you're going to love what's coming next.
Standing on business. That is such a big thing.
You know your word to the fact that you would not allow anyone to come to your life to break your peace or to disturb you.
Then we have 3 power plants in the midst of a chemical corridor, is what they call it, in the Ironbound.
Black and brown people are expected to perform less than other races.
Getting out the hood is like a big thing in my community.
Like a majority of the school didn't look like me. And I felt this kind of looming presence of alienation, that people had these preconceived notions about me.
This season, we're diving into something that could transform the political landscape, not just for Newark, but for cities across the nation. A little context here. To some young people, voting is just something you do. More specifically, something old people do. You know, because Martin Luther King and others paid their dues and went to jail. And that's right, voting is indeed something we expect you to do. So is it just a duty or an opportunity for young people to become empowered in the city of Newark? And if so, who will get them ready? And what will they learn about political engagement? I predict that this season is going to be a wild ride. Newark's young voters are stepping into uncharted territory, facing off with political powerhouses, unions, and maybe even their own parents. But don't worry, we've got a front row seat ready for you. Together, we'll follow the youth groups, the movement itself, and the tireless efforts that are working to turn Vote 16 into a reality. One of my favorite groups, the Youth Media Symposium, or YMS, just wrapped up a summer of intense preparation. You'll meet the YMS dynamic director, Jennifer Motti, and some of their brightest young stars as they share their passion for this movement and explain why they believe this vote is more than just civic duty, it's a path to real empowerment.
Good evening. Good evening. A little louder. Good evening. There we go. How was the food? 0 out of 10. How was the food? Okay, Keith, please. All right. Well, welcome to the Abbott Leadership Institute Youth Media Symposium Summer Program Graduation Ceremony. We made it 6 weeks together. Clap up for making it 6 weeks. Let me say, my name is Jennifer Motti, and I'm the Director of Youth Programs for the Abbott Leadership Institute. Thank you all. And before we come on and say what YMS is, what the summer program was, what our project was, why it was important, I want to bring up the founder of the Abbott Leadership Institute, Mr. Junius Williams, to come and tell us a little bit about why he founded ALI.
Thank you. And I have to thank Jennifer Motti for being my successor in this whole program. This was a gift from God that I felt. Idea came and said, we got to teach parents how to be better advocates for school education in Newark. So we started the Abbott Leadership Institute at Rutgers with the help of Rutgers. And this was probably around 2002, I believe. And so the idea was to have, and still is the idea, to have Saturday classes for parents to understand better how to make the schools better. So sometime along the line, I said to myself, we got to make sure these young people understand the politics of school as well. We expect them to understand the reading and the writing and the arithmetic. So if we could get young people involved and engaged in this whole process, what a bright world that would be. And here you are, all these years later. How many years later? Do you have any idea?
Yeah, it's been 18 years of YMS.
18 years of YMS. And so I'm just thankful that you're here. I'm proud of all of you. I'm proud of the parents for bringing you thus far this way and for coming out to see what your children have done. So I'm going to turn it back to Jennifer.
Thank you so much. Give Mr. Williams another round of applause. Mr. Williams is literally a living legend. He is the Newark historian. He was a part of SNCC. He started a lot of things, was the reason why the medical school didn't expand, stopped the highway that was supposed to connect 78 and 280 from being built. So Mr. Williams is truly a living legend, so please give him a round of applause. So to go into YMS and the summer program in early 2024, the Newark City Council made a landmark decision to expand voting rights in Newark to 16 and 17-year-olds for Newark local school board elections, lowering the age to 16 and 17. This groundbreaking ordinance was championed by the New Jersey Institute for Social Justice and the Vote 16 campaign, and is first of its kind in the state of New Jersey, with only a handful other cities across the country who have also lowered the voting age to 16 years old. That change now means that there are 7,000 new qualified voters to vote for the City of Newark school board election. Given that decision is made, we thought that it was beautiful for young people to be able to create a comprehensive toolkit that will live on an archived website where you can figure out and go and educate yourself on Vote 16, on what the school board election is, on what creating an advocacy campaign looks like, and also how to make advocacy campaigns. So this summer, YMS developed toolkits and training programs essential for schools, city officials, and organizations to effectively engage Newark's youth in civic education and advocacy. So they spent 6 weeks learning and planning and organizing and being able to create one of the things that are going to change not only Vote 16 in New Jersey, but this platform and also this website, and what your young people were able to create is going to change and benefit how young people vote across the entire country, but starting right here at home in Newark, New Jersey.
I'm talking to Jaden McCullough. Please tell us who you are, Jaden.
Hi, yes, my name is Jada McCullers, and I'm a rising senior at Bar High School Early College coming in this fall 2024.
What advantages do you get when you go to the early college high school?
I feel like advantages when I go to early college high school is you're able to get more knowledge, especially like some other students don't. You're able to get more experience and even get like a little further in life. Even if you don't plan on like attending a 4-year school after, at least you still have a degree, and you can still do something with that.
And so what kind of degree will you have when you finish high school?
When I finish high school, I could get my basic associate's degree.
Tell us about what you've been doing this summer.
So this summer in our YMS program, we creating a website toolkit trying to spread the word of Vote 16, which currently happened in Newark, where it just allowed 16 and 17-year-olds to be able to vote in the Newark school board. It hasn't yet been implemented yet, but we're trying to like push the word out there so that the city council clerk can go ahead and create like a process so that 16 and 17-year-olds are able to register, and just putting the word out there so that other people can know. Even the students that aren't aware of it, they are able to, get an understanding and things like that. Even if it's just the same way that 18-year-olds and people older are able to do it, even if they had that same process, we just want a process for them to come and create it so they can vote in the next school board election.
What did you do this summer to further education about this process?
So we created slides. So one of them is basically telling about the school board. Some students don't even know like how the school board operates or what they do. So we want to let them know what the school board is and what they are in control of. Because some students think only the superintendent is in control of everything, but it actually also falls on the school board. They create the budget and how you learn in school and what they teach you. And then we want to show out ways that other students can also push the word out there, teaching advocacy strategies so they can use their own platform, even if it's small or big, it doesn't matter. We just want them to be able to put that word out there.
What did you create?
So we had like our own group. So my group created like the basics of the school board election and what they do. Also how to bring civic education into schools, because some schools don't have government classes or they used to and they take them out. So we kind of want to bring that back and like be able to show students like this is how the government is created and this is how they run. Because some students don't even know how their basic mayor runs and stuff like that. So we want to bring that back into schools. And even when students have like mock elections for like their own president and stuff like that, that's also like how we want to bring it and how to show them about civic education.
How do you plan on selecting candidates for the school board?
I have to make sure that they have like the students' best intentions, because sometimes people on the school board, they don't always know what's best for the students, or they're trying to push another agenda, like pushing out the public schools and trying to bring it in charters. So I want to make sure that whoever I want to be in the school board election, that they know what's best for public school students and that they have their interests at heart and that they're not just trying to tear the schools down that's already building. I want them to make sure that they're able to like still bring them up and not just try to build new ones and put students there. I want them to fix what's old, and try to like push things that's in there. Because, not everything is bad. If you can always like fix it and make it good again.
What are some of the issues that you will support in a candidate?
Trying to push better curricula into schools and offer more alternatives for students and letting the students also kind of take control. I feel like sometimes students, they are saying stuff and like their word is really heard, but like there's no action really done upon it. So I feel like if they are able to create a way where students can, have more an effect on like what affects them, I feel like that would be good for students. And creating more programs, because I feel like sometimes students get too lost after school and they're not doing the right stuff. So I feel like if it's more programs, even that's started by the district, I think that'd be a good thing too.
Tell us who you are.
Yeah, I'm Zoli Machuku. I'm 17 years old. I'm a Nigerian male. I'm set to graduate from North Star Lincoln Park High School in the upcoming June 2025.
I notice you have on an Amherst College sweatshirt.
Yeah.
So what do you think about Amherst?
I think Amherst is a very prestigious school, first of all, probably top 20 in the United States of America. And I believe that Amherst is a school that is full of opportunity, first of all. Second of all, Amherst is it's a school that you need to be disciplined first to even think of what Amherst offers. And Amherst offers a whole world of diversity, despite being a school not much in number. But Amherst is a school that opens you to a world of opportunity while you're meeting people of different places.
So we're here to talk about your summer experience. Tell me what you learned while you were there.
This summer, I was part of the Youth Media Symposium of the About Leadership Institute, and I had the opportunity of creating and making resources for students and teachers to leverage, learning about civic education and voter registration, which would eventually aid to voting in school board elections for 16 and 17-year-olds.
And when is the first election?
It's in April of next year.
You looking forward to it?
Yes, I am looking forward to it.
Why?
Despite me not being able to vote in it, because I will be 18 by next year, April 3rd.
So why is it important for 16 and 17-year-olds to vote?
That brings up the question, why is it important to vote in general? And it's because it's this idea of a choice it's a choice between being able to choose between the power of life and death. And so in the Bible it says, my people are destroyed for they lack knowledge. And so by giving these children and giving these students the opportunity to know that they have this choice in their hands to being able to vote, the power, like, in the plague that is caused by ignorance is no longer there. We're eliminating that, giving them a choice to either advocate for something bigger than themselves or just stay mediocre as they are.
So what did you do this summer to make that choice happen?
In order to give these students the choice of being able to vote in school board elections, we made PowerPoints, made videos, and made all these resources for them to learn about civic education and voter advocacy in order to give them the choice, to make them know about the process of voting and make sure that they're not a stranger to that process of voting in school board elections.
Can you tell me a little bit about your approach?
The big idea of our approach was voter mobilization. And so we broke that voter mobilization idea into 3 different presentations and 3 different groups. It was mine, is voter advocacy through videography and cinematography. And then it was student-led advocacy, and it was also advocacy through social media and social media management.
What does that mean, social media management?
Yeah, so being able to not only create a social media account for the purpose of informing people about Vote 16 and being able to vote in school board elections, but also being able to manage that account and then make sure that the things that you're doing there is impactful and actually reaching out to audiences that you want.
So you think it's going to work?
Yes, I do believe that our project is going to work because not only did we reach out to multiple people that have power to help us in creating and moving for what we want to achieve, but we also put in the time and we put in the work to make sure that what we're doing isn't mediocre, what we're doing isn't subpar.
Okay. I'm talking to Olivia Wilson,
Hello.
and she is...
I am 19 years old. I go to Essex County College in Newark, New Jersey. I major in art, history, and business.
So what are we doing here today?
So what we're here doing today is we're having an award ceremony for all the kids for their accomplishments during the program. And what we were doing during the program was we were trying to find ways to advocate for Vote 16. So for Vote 16 is about for students who are in the school, in North this public school program, trying to get their voice heard. So what the kids did was they were building websites, social media programs and everything to reach out to the public of Newark, to pretty much the young students like 16s and 17-year-olds out there to get the word out for the younger audience. So the reason why it needs to be heard by the students who can vote in these school board elections is because they need to feel like they have a choice in who they're picking, of who's going to give them the advocation of what they're going to learn, what they're going to wear, what they're going to eat, and everything. And I think it's mostly important about what they learn in that school, because as the world changes, so is our government system. And right now, our government is trying to find a way to stop students from learning about stuff like specifically Black Lives Matter, segregation, Roe v. Wade, or any type of that stuff. So they're trying to block that stuff out of their education system. Specifically, they're trying to elect people like who are trying to block that blocked out that system. They're not getting what they're supposed to be getting in these schools, and it's unfair to them that they don't get a voice in it too.
Was the program successful?
I would say the program is successful because it was successful because the students were engaging in it, and they were learning more about what they need to know and what they needed to hear. And I think it was pretty successful because they built something that no other student like in their age group will ever be able to do.
Over the next few months leading up to the election in April 2025 and beyond, we're going to meet more students, hear from more youth groups, and get ready for the groundbreaking moment in Newark's political history. Along the way, we'll uncover how this all came together. We'll get some answers to questions like, who were the adults who made Vote 16 possible? And how did they make it happen? What do the teachers think who must teach lessons in class, but realize that students may have a say-so about what and how they teach. How about the parents? Will this new opportunity for young people influence parents to go out and vote in one of the most poorly participated elections every year? And what would be the role of the traditional power brokers in the city and the county, the politicians, the teachers' unions, the elected officials? Will they try to absorb this new energy into their traditional organizations? Or will these students develop organizations of their own? It's going to be a political thriller, something brand new in Newark with state and national implications. Other cities are watching closely, and the stakes couldn't be higher. So I'm excited, thrilled even, to be your host and commentator for this incredible journey. We got your seat. You keep your popcorn ready each month. And like my former pastor, Reverend Zimmerman, used to say, I believe I'll run on and see what the end's gonna bring.
Everything's Political podcast is produced by the Center for Education and Juvenile Justice Incorporated. The narrator and chief consultant on the project is Junius Williams. The cinematographer for Series 5 is Brian Timmons, and the editor, Harry Kafka, Studio Mosaic, under Francesca Dulce Larson, manages additional production and promotional efforts. We wish to thank the Turrell Foundation for its continued generous contributions that make the podcast possible. You can catch new episodes monthly and bonus content released weekly across YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. If you like what you see, please like, follow, and subscribe, and of course, stay political.